Hi, my name is Maria Enriquez, and today we're going to discuss the importance of having an emergency pregnancy kit for a disaster. Um, the target population here will be pregnant teenagers, which they are a high risk population for a disaster. They have complications with their pregnancy, therefore, they are higher risk for having a preterm labor or delivery during a disaster due to the stress levels or dehydration. We want to make sure that they have these items ready to go if something were to occur. Usually, or for the most cases, um, when disasters happen, we don't have the resources needed to take care of the family. Um, Many stores will be closed. Medical service will not be ready or open. Uh, Even our emergency personnel might not be able to reach to our house to take care of the uh, people that need our help. So we're gonna start with a piece of paper and pencil. So we're gonna use this piece of paper to write down all the items that we need on this kit. Okay, so this is our first item we're gonna be using, and we're gonna practice and write down and identify each supply that we need. Next, we're gonna have the list. As you can see, I already have all my lists ready. It's personalized. It has my name and all the items I have for my emergency kit. So I want everybody to write these items in a piece of paper that I just gave you. The more we practice, the more we're going to be able to identify these items and more comfortable, um, so that when these disasters happen, we feel more confident to take care of our family. Okay, so this is our list. Everybody will get one, and we're going to check and make sure that everybody has the right supplies, and so we can practice. We're going to gather all the supplies that we need for our bag, and we're going to make sure that by the end of this presentation, each student will have their emergency kit ready to go. And we also want to make sure that each student can identify each item that it's included on the list, um, and be prepared for a disaster, so that if we don't have the people that we need to assist you in an emergency, we are ready. We have all the supplies that we need. Okay, so the first item that we're gonna need for my emergency bag will be, I need a backpack. Okay, everybody will gather any backpack that will be easy to carry. Uh, and you should have this bag in a place where you can see. If something were to happen, you need to be able to grab this bag and take it. Okay, so I'm gonna place my bag here, and then my first item that I'm going to include will be, we're gonna need some baby diapers. Okay, so this can be 10 diapers in case, we don't get to the place where we need to get supplies. We have some supplies for the baby. So diapers are the first items we're gonna put in our bag. We're also gonna put two umbilical cord clamps. Okay, this is very safe for your baby, and it will be the easiest way to protect your baby, to clamp the umbilical cord. So we have two of these on our bag. Okay. The next item we're gonna have is we're gonna need 10 blue pads, and these blue pads are gonna protect your baby from being in environment that will not be safe for the baby if you were to deliver. So we don't want the baby to be exposed to any hazard infections or chemicals that the baby can be exposed during a disaster. So we want to make sure we have 6 of this. We also need to put some gloves. Okay, so you can put a couple, 5, 3 in your bag. I need to make sure that I have a baby's thermometer. Okay, so we want to make sure that we check the baby's temperature. We want to keep this baby warm if you were to deliver this baby. So here's a thermometer. We're gonna put it on our bag. I also want to make sure I have a flashlight because we might not have electricity for a few days or during the time this happens. So I have my flash ready to go. And I want to make sure that I stay informed. So I have my little radio. Okay, so I'm going to put this item in my bag. I need to make sure I have some batteries for my radio or my flashlight. So that's our next item. I want to make sure I have a baby hat. Okay, so I'm going to put this in my bag. I'm going to make sure I have a couple of alcohol swabs. So I'm going to put this item now on my bag. Some baby blankets to keep it warm and clean. I need to have some Betadine, a bottle. Okay. I also need to have a baby tissue. Some sterile gloves. You want to make sure you have 10 of these. Or you can use a box. And this is her fairy bath, so you can use it for cleaning purposes. Some scissors. We want to make sure that the scissors that we have on our back are sterile. As you can see, these are not sterile, so make sure that the scissors that you have, they're sterile. Six packages of the lubricant, sterile. And I want to make sure that another item that I did not include was some female pads, feminine pads. So by now, my emergency bag is ready to go. And I encourage any women who is pregnant to have this emergency pregnancy kit. In case something were to happen, you have all the items to take care of this baby and you. So this is my bag. So I want everybody to show me their list now. As I discussed before, we have this list, and I have my list in here and ready to go. So by now you should be able to identify some of the items that were included on this emergency kit, and you should be able to know how to assemble this bag since we just practiced how to do this emergency kit. And I want to make sure that you all understand, so I'm going to give you some evaluation tool and make sure that we can identify these items. Okay, so as you can see, we have all the items that we included in this emergency kit bag, but there are 3 items that we are not to include on this bag, that are not necessary to have it on this bag. So I want everybody to take a moment and see if you can identify these items. Okay, so as you can see, I don't need a video game for this bag. Okay, and I also don't need magazines. Okay, so that's that second item that is listed in there that I don't need to have on my emergency bag. Another item that is here that does not need to be included will be candies. Okay, candies are now a healthy snack for you to have during an emergency because it will just increase your need to drink water, and sometimes water might not be accessible, although we do encourage you to have or drink plenty of water during a disaster because we want to prevent dehydration, and we want to make sure that you stay well hydrated so you don't go into a premature labor. Okay, so these are the items. Again, practice in writing down these items is gonna help you to be prepared so that if a disaster happens, you feel more confident and you know what to do if the emergency personnel cannot reach to your house due to the unsafe environment um, that is up there. So if you have any questions, this is the time that you can ask more questions. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. Another safety information that I want to provide is to make sure that you drink plenty of water during a disaster. Make sure that you have an emergency plan before the emergency happens. Uh, Make sure you stay informed. So a way to stay informed is to have your radio and listen to the emergency news on the steps that you need to take when a disaster is happening. Make sure you have also your doctor's information because this can be a problem during a disaster. Doctor's offices might not be available and you might not be able to reach your doctor. So make sure you have your information. So if they need information about your prenatal care, wherever you go, they will be able to reach your doctor. Okay. You also want to have all your emergency phone numbers so that any medical personnel can reach your family or you can reach them during this critical time. Um, so I want to make sure that we understand why we need to have this emergency kit. This will help you tremendously during a disaster. Uh, and if you have any questions, you can always visit the www.cdc.gov and they will give you more information on steps to follow. I will wish you good luck and the steps that you need to follow. And thank you for your attention.